Good morning, everyone. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Metaphysical Report. My name is Lysander Xanthus, and today is December 2nd, 2019, and it is a Monday. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the day's astrology, numerology, magic tip of the day, a little crystal healing, and a reading from a book, kind of helping us to manifest things we desire into our lives a bit better. I hope everyone out there is doing well today. I would like to open this report with a little clearing. I'm going to be doing that with this singing bowl. It does make a high-pitched sound, just so in case anyone is sensitive. Alrighty, well, let us begin with the astrology of the day. So, the sun is in Sagittarius, which means that this is a great time for self-reflection, but in the sense of like broadening your view of things, seeking more information, considering your point of view and perspective of everything. Jupiter is also in Sagittarius, which means that when you do this, when you expand on your perspective and kind of look more broadly than you have been, you will be able to see things you haven't before, including opportunities around you, as well as things in yourself. And this is a beneficial influence, so it'll either be good things or things that really need your attention and that will serve your highest good to work on or to heal. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see. We have Venus, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn. So if you're the influence here is that if you're feeling trapped or limited by your circumstances, your relationships, including those with a partner or your family, that the thing is to take responsibility for the choices that have landed you in your situation, and that either way, the way out of the situation is by taking responsibility for getting yourself out and for your choices going forward, and taking the initiative and being self-sufficient in that rather than waiting for someone else to come and change things or for things to change on their own. And we have Mercury and Mars that are kind of giving us a push in doing this, because both of those planets are connecting us in different ways with our true feelings. And those feelings are a force of motivation and initiative. There's also the ability to be more aware intellectually, consciously of how it is you really feel. Let's see. The moon is waxing in Aquarius. So our attention is turning outward to what's around us, our situation, other people. And inside, we may be craving, feeling that craving for more independence and for something different. We may be having some unusual dreams right now. All dreams are worth recording, but I would pay attention to them for any extra insight into yourself. And you may be more inclined to consider very different alternative points of view of things and very different ideas. So as you're expanding your perspective and exploring, internally, you're in a better place to accept that. Let's see, Neptune is in Pisces, so there is a deeper knowing and intuitive information kind of rising to consciousness right now. And it is up to you if you would like to pay attention to or incorporate that knowledge or not. Hi, sweetie. Taurus is in Uranus is in retrograde in Taurus. Are you looking for one of them?
No.
So this is a time of review and reassessing our comfort zones and any changes taking root in our consciousness. So right now it's definitely an opportunity for change. I mean, there always is, but just in different ways. And I feel as though these influences are very apropos for the holiday season and end of the year, calendar year anyway. So that is today's astrology. Extra astrological tip: if you look at your natal chart and you look at which of your houses are ruled by Sagittarius, that is the area of your life being illuminated or emphasized at this time. All right, so next is today's numerology. It is the 2nd, so it is a 2-day. A 2 vibration is sensitive and doesn't like conflict. I think of this as a very kind of needy kind of number, not in a bad way, just where a day when one may feel a bit more tender. This is a 2-day. This day is about friendship, peace, and harmony. Try to spend it with a loved one. If there's someone that you truly care for, pick up the phone and make a plan. Send flowers to a friend just to make their day. Listen to music that makes you happy. Treat yourself to a massage. If you are fighting with someone, this is the day to come to an agreement. Avoid emotional vampires who are out to steal your joy. Give them your best smile and keep on moving. Sometimes the suggestions in here are so funny. Mostly, you just may be in greater need of nurturing at this time. All right. So, next is the crystal healing. And today, I have the following crystals for you. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, everyone else watching also. I love hearing from you guys. So, today I have for you hematite and bloodstone. This one actually has very lovely dark red spots. So hopefully you can kind of sort of see them. Both of these stones are very grounding. You're welcome to to look into them further if you like. Hematite, very grounding, and they both have associations to blood, of course, hence the name of this one, bloodstone. To me, bloodstone is a very invigorating stone that really puts you in yourself and gives you kind of the courage to be who you are. So if you'd like to participate in this crystal healing, all you need to do is sit, relax, and allow yourself to receive the energy. I just want to use this one very briefly. So now we're going to move on to the bloodstone. That concludes the mini crystal healing. Just take a moment to sit and take in the energy you've received. MA has a comment. Hematite is a good stone. Yes. All right, so next we will be doing the affirmation for the day. So let's check that out right now. So I am going to say it the first 2 times on my own. Well, I would like to say it on my own a few times so that you can listen and take in the words without being, sometimes saying along is a little distracting. So I'm going to say the affirmation to you in first person and then in second person a few times. And then we will say it together. Obviously, you can think it or say it aloud or whatever you like. So I'll begin. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. You love and approve of yourself. Life supports and loves you. You love and approve of yourself. Life supports and loves you. You love and approve of yourself. Life supports and loves you. Now feel free to say it with me. We're going to say it 3 more times. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. This affirmation comes from Heal Your Body by Louise Hay. And I chose an affirmations having to do with the spine, because our spine, metaphysically speaking, represents how supported we feel, and there are actually a lot of different ones associated to that part of the body, because I know that many of us feel unsupported, insecure, unsafe in so many different ways, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, etc. So I'd like you to carry this one with you throughout the day, or as long as you like. I love and approve of myself. Life supports and loves me. You deserve your own support. So that concludes the affirmation of the day. So next is the card guidance of the day. So I'm going to do a little card reading for all of you. So this will be advice for the day ahead. I think I'm going to be choosing a new deck today. No, I'm going to continue to use Chicolle. So this reading comes to you from the... Sorry, I had a very sudden urge to use a different deck. So I will grab that real quick. So this is the Mary L. Tarot. This is my personal deck. I don't usually use it to read for other people at all. But I really want to see kind of how using this for the daily guidance would work out. And it's definitely a unique deck with a lot of history imbued in the meaning of its cards. So, but the messages should still be fairly straightforward and spiritually inclined. This is what the back of the cards looks like. This is also like a huge deck. So I have to shuffle it vertically. There's one card. This will be between 1 and 3 cards, so I'm not sure if we intend on giving more. Oh, we do. So we have 3. So, all right. I'll show you the cards one at a time because they're kind of big and detailed. So this is the first card. Well, this is the first card. Sorry. Sometimes I completely take for granted. You know, I just don't notice these kind of things anymore. So this is the Fool. And the meaning here is, you know, like a lot of other Fool cards, is beginnings, a new start, leaping forward into something new. So this is suggesting that you guys are taking the first step on a long and profound journey. How very exciting. Leaps come with a lot of potential dangers, but a lot of potential gain as well. The second card is the Star. And this card is kind of saying, it's a card of guidance, kind of pulling you forward, leading you forward. So the first card indicates going on a journey, and this suggests being guided forward by your own soul and your true, deeper nature at this time, and letting that be the thing that pulls you forth, rather than your own ideas about who you are in your life, and being open to having your perspective broadened by a deeper knowing and intuition, and to call on your eternal self to give you hints. This is the third card. 4 of Swords. So some of my favorite key terms with this card are thoughts take root, words have wings. Body of knowledge collides with physical preparation or need. So this is really about the first two cards kind of coming together and kind of discovering your soul and your real self are in you, and it's kind of like pulling it out and discovering it and learning about it and being guided by it. So often we can seek external sources for this information, and they can be very helpful, such as readings from psychics or mediums or tarot readers. I am one as well, so yes, I include myself. Past life readings, energy healings, soul readings, anything you can think of. And although can be a bit tricky to access, everything about ourselves is in us, even if we don't consciously remember. The knowledge of all we have experienced and all that we know and all of our talents are in you. The information is in you. There's a part of you that knows and remembers. So if you allow yourself to, the Mary L. Tarot is suggesting that you begin the journey, allow yourself to be guided forward by your soul, and to let things culminate and come together. So that is today's card guidance. I hope it was of help to some. I do change the decks that I use now and then. So next, we're gonna talk about the magic tip of the day, and these are just ways to incorporate magic a little bit more into your daily life, or sometimes they're actual spell tips. So today's tip concerns using physical exercise to help manifest what you desire. So it's a little more abstract. When you're exercising, you're expending a lot of energy, and you can either construct a way to utilize that energy in a spell or ritual, or while you are exercising, make it part of your routine to regularly state the intention you want to create. So for example, let's say you're doing like a money spell, or your intention was for more income or money while you're doing your routine. So like for every lift, you would think it, and with exertion, focusing yourself on that intent, whatever it is. I mean, the most obvious intention you can use during exercise is your fitness goals, but you can actually think about any other type of goal. And again, it's because of the expulsion of energy during exercise and directing it towards a purpose, as well as the kind of focus it requires, since you are so deeply engaged in physical activity. Having to exert yourself to focus your mind is powerful as well. So that is the magic tip of the day, is that you can bring your intentions, your affirmations, and your spells into your workout routine, for those of you who engage in that. Alrighty, So, next is the reading of the day. And I am going to be reading from I'm going to be reading from The Power Is Within You. And this is kind of continuing the subject of how to manifest your desires into your life, whether you're using law of attraction or magic. And I'm reading excerpts from a few different parts of the book, but primarily the chapter of how to love yourself. And this is relevant because a lack of self-regard can kind of be a detriment to your work in this way. Because if you don't even feel that you kind of deserve to live a good life, then it's a bit harder to draw those things to you. Even more practically speaking, it's hard for you to be motivated to accomplish those things for yourself. So this chapter lists 10 ways to love yourself a little bit more each day. And today we are reading number 4. So this is just one more way to learn to love yourself a little more today. We must learn to be kind to our minds. Let's not hate ourselves for having negative thoughts. We can think of our thoughts as building us up rather than beating us up. We don't have to blame ourselves for negative experiences. We can learn from these experiences. Being kind to ourselves means we stop all blame, all guilt, all punishment, and all pain. Relaxation can help us as well. Relaxation is absolutely essential for tapping into the power within. Because if you are tense and frightened, you shut off your energy. It only takes a few minutes a day to allow the body and the mind to let go and relax. At any moment, you can take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and release whatever tension you're carrying. As you exhale, become centered and say to yourself silently, I love you, all is well. You will notice how much calmer you feel. You are building messages that say you don't have to go through life tense and frightened all the time. Meditate on a daily basis. I also recommend quieting your mind and listening to your own inner wisdom. Our society has made meditation to something mysterious and difficult to achieve, and yet meditation is one of the oldest and simplest processes there is. All we need to do is get into a relaxed state and repeat silently to ourselves words like love or peace or anything meaningful to us. Om is an ancient sound that I use at my workshops, and it seems to work very well. We could even repeat, I love myself, or I forgive myself, or I am forgiven. Then listen for a while. Some people think that if they meditate, they have to stop their minds from thinking. We really can't stop the mind, but we can slow down our thoughts and let them flow through. Some people sit with a pad and pencil and write down their negative thoughts because they seem to dissipate more easily. If we can get to a state where we are watching our thoughts float by, oh, there's a fear thought and some anger, and now there is a love thought, and now a disaster. There's an abandonment thought, a joy thought. And we don't give them importance, we begin to use our tremendous power wisely. You can begin meditation anywhere and allow it to become a habit. Think of meditation as focusing on your higher power. You become connected with yourself and your inner wisdom. You can do it in whatever form you like. Some people go into a kind of meditation while they are jogging or walking. Again, don't make yourself wrong for doing it differently. I love to get on my knees in the garden and dig in the dirt. It's a great meditation for me. Hey Claire, I'm not sure why you couldn't get on. That is unusual. Visualize optimistic outcomes. Visualization is also very important, and there are many techniques you can use. Dr. Carl Simonton, in his book Getting Well Again, recommends a lot of visualization techniques for people with cancer, and they often yield excellent results. With visualization, you create a clear, positive image that enhances your affirmation. Many of you have written to me about the kinds of visualizations you do along with your affirmations. The important thing to remember about visualizations is that they must be compatible with the kind of person you are. Otherwise, your visualizations will not work. For instance, a woman with cancer pictured the good killer cells in her body attacking the cancer and killing it. At the end of the visualization, she doubted whether she had done it correctly and didn't feel it was working for her. So I asked her, "Are you a killer person?" I personally don't feel good about creating a war in my body. I suggested that she change her visualization to one that was a little more gentle. I think it's better to use images like the sun melting the sick cells, or a magician transforming them with his magic wand. When I had my cancer, the author, not me, I used the visualization of cool, clear water washing the diseased cells out of my body. We need to do visualizations that are not so offensive to us on the subconscious level. Those of us who have family or friends who are sick do them an injustice by continually seeing them as sick. Visualize them as well. Send them good vibrations. However, remember that getting well is really up to them. There are many good audio tapes with guided visualizations and meditations that you can give them to help them through this process if they are open. If not, just send them love. Everyone can visualize, describing your home, having a sexual fantasy, imagining what you would do to a person who hurt you are all visualizations. It is amazing what the mind can do. So, we must learn to be kind to our minds. We have a comment from Claire. I've had the C word twice. Visualization. Visualization is essential. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry that happened, but I'm very glad you've come through. Oh, excuse me. Just dropping things. So today's reading came from The Powers Within You, of course. However, this is also a very good book by Louise Hay called Heal Your Body. And it is the mental causes for physical illness and the metaphysical way to overcome them. Obviously, it doesn't replace treatment, but I found it very enlightening. So, Claire, if you would like, I can read the entry for the C word. It it states what the underlying emotional cause is related to and an affirmation for that. Otherwise, you're welcome to inbox me for that as well. It is up to you. I just thought maybe I'd share that. So now, some thoughts I have about the reading today. I would like, if anyone feels like it, you guys to comment ways that you express kindness to yourself and that you are kind to your minds. You can also share ways that you're unkind. While I don't want to overly emphasize on that, of course, it is good to acknowledge so we kind of know how we act against ourselves. And a really important way of being kind to our minds and ourselves is self-forgiveness. There's a lot of different ways we torment ourselves mentally, and one of the big ones is shame and guilt, whether we were at fault for something or not. So you are the most important person you can forgive. Obviously, there are a lot of other people that we may be bitter or angry with, but start with yourself. You may find that it is very slightly easier to contemplate the possibility of forgiving others in your life when you have given that gift to yourself first. So I will share that from here in just a moment. Iris has a comment. Compassion is my biggest downfall in self-kindness. Yes. Alternatively, it can be very, very easy for us to be understanding and compassionate towards others, and we have none for ourselves, which is unfortunate. Sometimes it can be easier to think about yourself as if you were another person. Like imagine if you were, look at yourself as if you're looking at a dear friend, or as if you're looking at a small child. And ask yourself if you would treat your good friend or a small child in the manner that you treat yourself or talk to them the way you talk to yourself. It really kind of brings a strong contrast for how cruel we can be to ourselves, that we would never do this to another person or to someone who's small and vulnerable, and you really deserve that same kind of consideration. Inside all of us is a small, frightened, vulnerable child who needs tenderness and love. Even though we're adults now, there's a part of ourselves that is soft and tender and innocent. So this is just some of my thoughts about the reading. So now I am going to share from Heal Your Body. Claire mentioned some things she was dealing with. If someone else has like a condition, you're welcome to say that as well, and we'll go through it. And it seems like kind of a interesting thing to do. So for the entry under Cancer, the emotional cause is deep hurt, long-standing resentment, a deep secret, or grief eating away at the self, carrying hatreds. What's the use type of thinking. Sometimes when issues reoccur, it is suggesting that the deeper root has not been acknowledged or addressed. Obviously, figuring that out is your own personal journey. Thanks, my love.
Sorry it took so long this morning. I had to clean up after Keeney.
It's okay. I love you. I got brought coffee. So, I've been very lucky to not have any serious issues, but I've had, some physical things. I've used this in kind of reflecting on what it has to say has been very fruitful for me. I'm going to look at the comments real quick and then come back to this. Yes. MA shares, yes, calling myself awful names at times. We all struggle with different aspects of being kind to ourselves. We learn from the adults around us who were unkind to us when we were young, and we internalize what we learned from them about ourselves, and we learn to do it for ourselves. So it's very important to consider where it comes from and if that's how we really feel about ourselves. Claire says, we do have to find and look after our inner child. Yes. And you can even think of it as, like, maybe not your inner child, but your inner vulnerability, just your heart, you know. So Cancer is usually related to a deep resentment or holding something very, very tightly within. And the affirmation for this condition is the following. So I'll say it slowly, twice. I lovingly forgive and release all of the past. I choose to fill my world with joy. I love and approve of myself. I lovingly forgive and release all of the past. I choose to fill my world with joy. I love and approve of myself. I find contemplating the affirmations interesting. They can highlight other aspects of the condition that we may not have considered. Forgiving and releasing the past is also very important. So I hope that was of interest to you and everyone generally. So I seem to have, well, okay, I haven't. I was going to say, wow, I've really gotten through all this very quickly today. It's not so bad. Just 10 minutes more quick than usual. So I invite comments and questions about anything that has been discussed during this report. Oh, Claire. She says, beautiful words. Oh, I cry a lot. So I guess since I have a little more time, I will share something personal about my journey with magic and with manifestation, since that is kind of the topic at hand. There was just so much work in letting things go. All kinds of different things that happened, things I did, things other people did, things that didn't happen, things people didn't do. Sometimes the things that didn't happen can be hard as well. Hello, Donna. If you mean a reading from the Heal Your Body book, please just list your condition and I'd be happy to refer to that for you. If you mean like a psychic reading, this is not really the video for that. I would refer to my psychic reading videos on my page. Anyway, I've been using all kinds of different meditations, visualizations, rituals, spells, etc. to help me with all this. And so I've picked up a few useful ones along the way. So I'm going to share this one today, but I will probably share it again later so that hopefully more people can see it. This actually comes from, what's the name of the book? So I didn't come up with this one. It comes from a book about financial magic. But it was very useful. So the first thing you'll want to do is to take a pen. Excuse me, it's really dry. Take a pen and a piece of paper, and you're gonna make a list. You're going to write down a few memories and experiences. You can either write them out in detail, or you can just kind of briefly note what memory it is. It's for you, so as long as you know what it is. You're supposed to be picking specific memories, and which ones you choose kind of depend on which issue you want to work on and what it is you want to release. So let's just say, for example, you're trying to clear blocks to money, because that's the way it was originally written. So I'll give the standard way it was used and then kind of give you how you can adapt it for healing other things. Hi Sophie, this is not a reading video, this is the Morning Metaphysical Report. You will have to find my reading videos. Alright, so you'll want to write down memories or things you did. It is moments where you let yourself down. Moments where you are about to like accomplish something or do something or make a decision and you kind of jerked back. You didn't follow through, you jerked back, you held out on yourself, you let yourself down, some kind of way where you chickened out on progress. That's the qualifier in the book. It's like moments where you chickened out on progress, on taking this step forward for whatever reason. It doesn't matter, fear, guilt, anger, other stuff going on. Moments where you disappointed yourself. So that's actually the memories he listed for healing financial blocks, which I found very interesting, of course. So I am sharing that with you, and a recommendation. You can write down all the memories you can think of, but just know that this is going to take you forever if you do that. So my recommendation is to choose between 3 and 10 tops, even though that'll take you a while to memories. And just repeat this again later if there's more you need to let go. So I would take the most prominent, like crushing, disappointing things that you're holding against yourself. So you'll want at least 3. 10 I still think is too much, but do not do more than 10. You'll see why in just a moment. So now that you have your list, this is just really to help you keep track of what you're focusing on. So this is the meditation. There are a few aspects of it I don't quite remember, so I will be posting the book to my page. You can look out for that and get it for yourself. I'm not sure if I have it here, if it moved with us, otherwise I would just go get it. So you will sit down, center yourself, do whatever meditative practice you do to energetically balance yourself, and you'll want to put yourself in a prime energetic state. You know, whatever the best is you're capable of at the moment. And then you'll want to imagine a huge roaring fire in front of you. And it's surrounded by little stones with all kinds of different magic symbols. And you'll want to kind of know within yourself that this is like the hottest fire that has ever existed. It is so hot that whatever is thrown into it just is burnt out of existence, just gone, destroyed completely. So I will get to the comments after relating this. So what you'll do with your list is that you are going to go one memory at a time, and you're going to really step into that memory if you're comfortable doing so. Obviously, don't traumatize yourself. And you're going to take that memory and imagine pulling it out like it's energy, like it's water or something, and crushing into like a tight little cube in your hands. So you're going to take it and you're going to hold it, and you're holding that experience, all the things you felt in that moment, and you're going to throw it into the fire, and the fire is so hot it just destroys it completely. I am going to share this meditation again, so look out for that, because there are words included going along with that that I feel are pertinent. So you're going to go one memory at a time and repeat this. Focus on it, hold it in your hand, throw it in the fire, and you're going to want, after you throw it in the fire, you're going to want to say something like, I release this experience. It no longer exists to me. I release that reality. So you're going to do that for every item in the list. Then after you've gone through all of them, you're going to sit and imagine a star above your head, like a bright, beautiful star, shimmering, and pull it down through your body. And you can vibrate any sound you like. Om is good, and allow it to fill the space. The idea is that you're pulling in energy, and you can make it any kind of energy you want to pull into yourself. What you're doing is when you expelled the energy of these memories, you created empty spaces in your personal energy, so you're purposely filling it at the end. And then just take a moment of quiet reflection at the end. Not really thinking about anything in particular, just let things come to you. Sometimes you can get like important realizations about the stuff you let go of, and other things in that time. Now, so that's part of the reason why I asked you to maybe only pick a handful of memories to work with, is that you're supposed to repeat that 9 times. It's like 7 or 9 times, but basically, so you do that one, you're going to repeat it once a day. I apologize for not remembering, I would say between 7 and 9 days. However, if you're very in tune with yourself, you can decide when you think you've gotten it. When I did this for myself, I did it for 2 days, because after the second day, I had the epiphany where it's just kind of like all those memories no longer had a hold over me. So when you're ready to stop, it's kind of individual, but I suggest 7 to 9 to really be sure you clear it out. But it's up to your own sense of yourself. So that's for that. If otherwise, you can actually just do this for memories you'd like to release and heal. So for example, working on self-love, I wrote down memories. It's like memories of when you did not, kind of when you let yourself down in that department, where you acted against yourself, you enacted acts of cruelty against yourself, like big moments. The important thing with this ritual is that you're actually not listing memories of when you learned bad things from other people or other people doing things to you. It's like very self-focused, ways you let yourself down, ways you bought into the things the adults were telling you about yourself, ways that you deepen the internalization of the self-hatred you learned, ways you let yourself down when it came to progress in any area of your life, whether it was financially, career, education, health, weight loss, etc. Um, so, yes, that's a very important aspect. So I will be sharing about this again. I'm going to go look to see if I have the book here, and I will probably make that a separate video. So look out for that. Now I'm going to get the comments here. Going back up to Claire. Claire says, I had a weird thing that I couldn't remember before I was 11. I was in my 40s before they started to come back. Yes, Claire. I mean, I'm sure you probably know this by now, but having chunks of your life missing, especially when you're a child, is usually not a good thing. Usually there's some, since you remember, you probably know some bad things that occurred that were repressed. And it is a crazy thing, and it's a real thing. I've experienced it myself. It is so strange to remember things that you just didn't remember. They were more good than bad. It is very strange. There are a lot of different reasons that could happen. Typically, there is a reason for the repression. It's interesting that the memories appear good. Iris says, I like that. I have a very hard time with one and done releases and beat myself up for failing to release things in one go. Oh no! That's not good. Oh, sorry, honey. I was responding to a comment.
Oh.
I scared her.
That was a very loud oh no. I don't know if you know how loud you were.
I just realized, I'm like, oh no, it's 7 a.m. I was really loud just now. Iris was sharing that she criticizes herself for not being able to release things in one go during rituals. I'm like, oh no, that's rather against the point, isn't it?
Mm.
I mean, it's human, of course. Don't beat yourself up for beating yourself up.
Don't beat yourself up for beating yourself. Just stop.
Just stop.
Okay. Felt like you lost the internet or something.
I love you.
So, okay. You're good. Felt like you lost the internet, you spilled the coffee on my fancy keyboard. I don't know. I was like, what? What?
It's okay. Nothing happened.
Okay.
Claire says, it wasn't as bad as my brain thought. I mean, there was, but I also forgot the good things, is what I mean. Yeah, I was contemplating that, is that unfortunately when we decide to block out memories or emotions, our minds are not set up to be selective, so it means everything goes. Yeah. So, like, if you don't want to feel bad feelings anymore and you repress your bad feelings, then chances are you're not going to feel anything, because all the feelings get repressed, not just bad ones. Same thing with memories. If you're trying to forget one thing, there's a good chance the whole chunk will be gone. But you know that. Yes. I don't know. I'm just commenting. Anyway, it's alright, Iris. I was loud. I should be more mindful. I do have neighbors, and it is early. The sun doesn't rise here until about 8 o'clock, so. A single release can work, but I definitely prefer to have it be continuous, because you're kind of slowly wearing it down. For quite a few months, I was burning candles for an hour every single day, and burning paper that I had written down things I wanted to release in. So I would rewrite those things every day. It wasn't exact. It's just whatever was on my mind or bothering me that day. So sometimes once is enough. The thing also to keep in mind is that even if you release something one time, sometimes you feel it completely gone in one immediately, and sometimes it takes time. It is a spell, so it can take time for that intention you set out in that work to kind of wear it down. So it's not even necessarily needed to repeat it. It's just being patient. However, for the thing I shared with you, it is meant to be done as a multi-day ritualistic series. But it was incredibly insightful when I did it, so. So I'm going to be drawing the report to a close soon. In the description of this video, you can find a link to my Patreon. If you would like more information about me and about the Morning Metaphysical Report and what's behind it, I encourage you to check out that link for more information. It talks about me, the Kitchen Witch, and our work. There's a lot of free content as well as member-only content, such as tutorials about how to clear energy and tarot and other things, and paranormal investigation footage. It lists our goals, what the things we're working towards, and how you can support us, and the rewards you will receive in return for your support. And it's a way for us to grow together. If you enjoyed this morning report, please like and follow my page so that you can continue to see each morning, as well as catch all the other things that I do. We have a comment from Iris. She says, I find I'll release something and then ruminate it back into being. A multi-day ritual seems like it would help one's mental hygiene and break the rumination habit. That is part of the point, is that dredging this stuff out can be a bit tenuous. So also a suggestion is that you need to not only release the thing you're releasing, but to release the habit of rumination. You can release anything you want. So you have to release the mental pattern of being focused on the past and bring your attention to the present. Claire says, I have a bouncy monkey brain, but I'm using that to my advantage. Well, you know, self-knowledge is power. Well, I would like to thank everyone for watching today and joining me and participating. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you all again later today and tomorrow morning. So this concludes the Morning Metaphysical Report. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day.